Berkeley has had conservative speakers speak there throughout the history of Berkeley. It's not about that. It's
right, but the history is different than the current. The current is it's
but
ramped up.
But the current
recently.
thing is because when Milo was going to show up, there was the fear, and he'd seen it happen before, where he was targeting students, either undocumented students. He like naming students during his stage thing who were undocumented or trans, and there was fear that like that's promoting violence. That's
the
promoting,
undocumented thing is a huge issue.
Yeah, that's
specifically targeting individuals.
That thing is Berkeley's like, we can't stand for that. That's not about free speech. That's about safety. And I feel like that's where does hate speech begin and where does free speech begin? It's a huge murky area that even the law can't tell you where it is.
Right.
And so, but those issues of what is free speech and what isn't free speech, or freedom of expression, and again, the Bay Area, I live right next to Oakland. Black Panthers were in Oakland. California used to be an open carry state until the Black Panthers was like, oh, it is? And they went to like Sacramento when Reagan was there and like openly carrying, and people were like, maybe this open carry is not such a good idea.
It's not really a debate right now in Charlottesville, though, is it?
Yeah.
They're just letting it slide.
So it's about who's in power and what they want to let you get away with.
Is Charlottesville open carry? I mean, it must be.
Yeah, it's open carry.
There's no way.
There's definitely. I mean, I think they picked Charlottesville for a reason.
Isn't that weird though?
Because it's like a liberal college, well, a quote unquote liberal arts college. That doesn't mean it's a liberal college, but a liberal arts college, a blue dot in the middle of this red state that is open carry. So it like. There's reasons they're targeting these places. I think Berkeley, up until recently, felt like a soft target because they'd been there twice and whooped our asses. Right. They were like, all right, we should schedule a third fight, like Mayweather. They want to fight again, McGregor? So.
Not in the octagon.
No, not yet. On my terms.
Let's make it right.
Yeah, so this third time, it was like, we were like, no.
Well, Charlottesville, to me, was so representative of the times that we're in because all these white guys with citronella candles they got from Home Depot. It's like, what in the fuck? Why don't you guys, like, carry Whole Foods bags as well and walk around with Crocs on? I mean,
it's also tiki torches are not white inventions, so it's like a whole it's just the whole thing. Like you couldn't even bring your own. You couldn't just bring sticks. You had to bring Polynesian tiki torches.
But the whole torch thing, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why do you have torches?
Because they're invoking the images of white people carrying torches that have terrorized people of color and black people.
But that's what it is. That's exactly. There's no other reason to carry torches.
The free speech thing is like you're purposely invoking an image because you could have just held your phones up with the lights on if you wanted to.
We were talking about those headlamps you get when you go camping. Yeah. You walk through the woods. Put those on. Those are way better than those stupid fucking torches.
But they want to look supreme. That doesn't make you look supreme.
It's also what torches represent is fire, and fire is very volatile. Yes. You could use that fire. You could light things on fire. Like we're at step 1. Step 2 is we start lighting shit on fire with this fire.
Yeah.
Like right now we're carrying it around in a controlled manner, but you're showing. It's in a way like a step below open carry. You're walking around with something you can use to light things on fire.
And they know the history of white people carrying torches is the Klan. So they're very purposefully doing the thing. I love the idea that like there's probably these Klan members like, dudes, that's why we wore the hoods.
Yeah.
So we couldn't be
fucking idiots.
We didn't want to be fired. That's why we wore the hoods.
Well, those guys are getting fired left and right and called out.
And crying. But I think they know the history of that. They know the history of the fact that like if we show up carrying torches, it means something different than if we show up wearing headlamps or carrying our phones.
But they couldn't even get those fucking Frankenstein-style torches where they wrap
those burn too quickly. Those
are so not real. They had to replenish those every 15 minutes on those movie sets.
Yeah, as I learned with the Klan, that wood burns too quickly.
Yeah, well, that's also the thing with flaming arrows. Like people that think that you could like light an arrow and no, they go out.
Yeah,
you shoot a fucking arrow.
Wind and air works and velocity.
200 feet per second. You're shooting it through the air. That thing's gonna go out. It's not going to be able to light that boat on fire. Get the fuck out of here.
There was probably a rehearsal for the torch thing where they actually did have regular torches, and they're like, oh, this isn't.
This is not working, guys.
Ow! Yeah.
Well, Home Depot was probably like, wait, how many fucking torches? What do you guys have, like, the biggest backyard ever?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Home Depot managers now, like, how many torches do they want? Slow down a second.
Backyard torches. Like, what? Those things with, like, the bamboo stalks that they're using for the bottom or whatever the fuck the stick is. It's just... God, it's so the sign of the times. It's such a poser move.
Yep, it is a poser move, and yet they know that if you're a black person walking through the streets of Charlottesville and you see that coming your way, and you're thinking you're invoked by images of America's past, where that was like that equaled death because they weren't back then. The torches were for your house. Yeah, the torches were for you. They were not just showing strength, and they know that, and that's why when people go, it's just free speech. It's like, we have to stop acting like that.
You can't say it's just free speech if you're walking around with a torch. It's definitely more than that. You don't have to have a torch. Everyone can see you. It's not so dark out that we can't see you.
Especially in that way. My wife actually the other day was like, "There's a guy walking the street with a blowtorch." And it's only now because we think like, "What's that mean?" But like in the Bay Area,
a welder.
Yeah, exactly. She didn't call the cops. She was just like on the phone. There's a guy walking down the street with a torch. But the idea is that didn't alert her because it was like it's just some guy walking around with a torch. But it's specifically the context of nighttime, a group of hundreds of white guys carrying torches walking towards people. It's like that's not free speech. That's not freedom of expression.
And the chants, the chants that they were yelling out, the whole thing was just so fucking bizarre. It's like, how did they organize? Like, where are these guys meeting up to figure this out?
I feel like it's the same thing as like live action role play. It's like they're meeting up online and then they probably meet for the first time when they get there. You know, and I think it's also just really, you know, it's really indicative of, like you said, the times we live in, that they think they can get away with this and then get surprised when they get fired. Like they think that like, oh, we'll just do that and then we'll go to Applebee's. You know, like it's just like, no, dude, we can see you.
Well, it's indicative of them being fucking stupid, which is why they're doing it in the first place.
Which is why when the president goes on both sides, maybe there were people, and a lot of people said this, maybe there were some white people who were like, yeah, I do feel like that my rights are being a little bit trampled on, and I really want to show up. The minute you hear people chanting, like, whatever the anti-Semitic things they were saying, you got to go home.
Yeah, what were they saying about take it back from the Jews or stop the Jews from taking over? Or?
Yeah, and then the president and the president can't come out against that. Well,
he's seeing people open carry with military outfits on, walking with these folks. He's seeing these people walking down the street with torches, and he doesn't have some sort of an articulate response to that where he's saying, like, look, ladies and gentlemen, this is not being inclusive. This is not like stepping up and saying that what we need to do is like come to some sort of an understanding and be at peace with each other, which is what America should be.
But you started it wrong. Articulate response.
Yeah.
Like that's not his thing. I mean,
he used to be more articulate, which is really weird. I don't think men should do anything when they're 70. I really don't, because I think they're old. Their dick doesn't work anymore. Their fucking skin's falling off their face. Their back starts to hurt. They're cranky. I just think when you get to be that age, you should just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, you should sit down.
You should go fishing or something.
Yeah,
but you definitely shouldn't have the kind of insane high-pressure job that, by the way, nobody should have.
Yeah.